Hey everybody, my name is Paul. We're going to talk about sleep today. So I'm over 50 years old and I've been trying to get in the best shape of my life. And I'm actually in the best shape of my life, even considering my 20s. And how did I get there? How I keep getting there? One of the areas is sleep. So that might sound a little weird. Why would you want to start a YouTube channel about fitness starting with sleep? Shouldn't we start about diet and exercise? Well, sleep is one of those foundations that is going to help with all that. And just as we go through this, I just want to let you know there's not going to be any edits in this. There's not going to be any fancy graphics because I'm just going to tell you the information. And so you can get on with your life and do what you need to do. And that's the important thing in all these different videos that I'm going to do. You need to take some action because we all know that we can watch as many of these YouTube videos as we want, but until we actually take action in our lives, nothing's going to change. And I can say that for me right now. Sleep used to always be for me something that I didn't get a lot of. I always thought, when I retire, I'm going to get a lot more sleep. So I used to work in the medical field, and I used to only get about 4 to 5 hours of sleep a night because I like to play video games and I like to have my time. And so I waited till everybody went to bed and then I played my video games or I watched movies or I did whatever I wanted to, but it cost me my sleep. Plus I was on call a lot as for the hospital as well too. And so I got called in at these weird times of day. Whenever there was a full moon, I always got called in at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning because some doctor needed some test. And I was like, really? But I digress. I should talk about that some other time. But my sleep was horrible. And it got so bad that when I was working one day, I had such a bad headache that I actually went to the ER and had a head CT done. And under that head CT, they actually found I had a brain bleed, not from lack of sleep, but from a previous car accident I've had. But it really was a wake-up call because I was like, I should get some more sleep. I should be sleeping more. But I wasn't. And it really affected my health. I noticed my weight went up significantly during this time too. It wasn't uncommon that I gained 5 to 10 pounds a year. And at the heaviest I've ever been was about 217, which was last year. I just didn't think weight was a big deal, I tried to eat healthy, but I just was always hungry. I was always ravenous because I never got the amount of sleep I needed. So I was watching one of these videos online that talked about, hey, you should really start with your sleep. And I said, okay, I'll try it to see what it's like. And I started creating a sleep routine. And so what I basically do between 10:30 and 11 o'clock at night, I go to bed. And then I get up at 6:30, 7 o'clock, 7:30. So between 6:30 and 7:30 is when I get up. And I get up without an alarm clock. I just wake up and I'm ready to go. And it's been great. I don't really have to set an alarm. On Sundays, for what I do for work, I'm a pastor. And so I do set an alarm just in case so I don't oversleep. But I'm normally always beating my alarm and I still am getting some great sleep. And it's been really great to have this. And I think that's really helped with why I haven't really gotten sick this last winter because I was getting enough sleep. I was getting enough rest. And like I said, it's really great. It gets to about 10:30. I start yawning. I need to go to bed. I'm like, okay, I'm just going to go to bed. And literally it takes me 5 minutes to fall asleep once my head hits the pillow. I think that's pretty cool. Now, there's a couple things that we can do, and I'll tell you a little bit more about my sleep routine. So like I said, 3 hours prior to going to sleep, I do my best not to eat. 2 hours before I go to sleep, I strap my liquids. And then an hour beforehand, this one's a little shaky for me. I don't always do this. At least it's a half an hour. I try to read a book right before bed so I don't have any screen time, and that seems to help. I did an experiment where I actually took my phone to bed and started flipping through like YouTube shorts and stuff like that. And what I found was it took me about 35 to 40 minutes to fall asleep. And so I didn't think there was really anything to that phone, but whenever I go to bed and have my phone with me and start flipping through YouTube, I noticed that it really affects how long I can sleep for. And so, so definitely get rid of the screens. So get rid of the screens as well too. So that's what worked for me as well as in terms of sleeping. So that routine really helped at first. Some other things you can do that will help with sleep. I invested in an eye mask. I have a nice eye mask, so it's always dark. You can do blackout curtains instead. I prefer the eye mask. That just works better for me. Make sure your bedroom is colder at night, in the 60s, I think 67, something like that, low 60s. And so what that does, it causes your body to naturally get tired. And so the body's like, okay, I need to rest. Some other things to do is just make sure your bedroom is used for two things. This is going to sound silly: sleep or sex. Because otherwise, if you go to bed and you use it as a workspace, or if you use it to watch TV, or whatever you do, your body gets confused as to what the purpose is when you go into that room. And so to sort of help it say, okay, when you come into this room, I'm basically going to bed, I'm going to sleep. It helps your body know that once you enter the bedroom, this is what its job is going to do. And it sounds silly, but it makes so much sense. And like I said, since I've been doing this routine, it's been working great for me. It's great in that I can just fall right to sleep within about 5 minutes. And again, what I think the important thing is when you watch this video is what action you're going to take today. Because you can watch this, oh yeah, those sounds like great ideas, but what action are you going to take tonight? What one thing out of this video can you try tonight? Is it the 3-2-1 method? Again, 3 hours beforehand, no food; 2 hours beforehand, no liquids; and 1 hour beforehand, no screen time? Or is it simply investing in a sleep mask? Is it investing in blackout curtains? Is it making sure the furnace is turned down well enough? Is it about taking, making sure that any other distractions, maybe taking the TV out of your bedroom might be a good thing? Or maybe it's investing in a white noise machine, because if you need something or a fan to help with that. But I want you to do one thing out of this tonight, because everybody needs to get better sleep. And once you get better sleep, you're going to notice that you're going to be a lot more mentally awake, and your appetite is going to go down. And I'll talk about that in some other videos as we go through. But if you like this type of content, just hit the subscribe button. Again, I'm just going to talk about stuff about how to get fit after 50. So many times we hear people about, about 40-year-olds and less. It's about getting shredded and stuff like that. What I hope from these videos is that you can see that being over 50 doesn't mean that you're going to automatically fall apart. I think so often we feel like we're going to fall apart when we get older. And it's doing simple steps like this that's going to help you become more healthier. It's going to help with disease fighting. And so like I said, follow along for this and my journey as well too. And we'll learn about fitness and hopefully be all fit together. Until the next video, I'll see you soon.